Hi, my name is Kiara and I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, also known as EDS. My subtype is hypermobility, which means I am very flexible and I have a lot of problems with my joints and my muscles. Since I've had EDS my entire life and suffering from it my entire life, I've developed a couple of tips and tricks that I want to share with you. Alright, so first tip that I have for you is to join a community. There's a lot of support out there, especially if you don't have a lot of support at home or a good support team. There's a lot of different ways you can find someone to help. First off, there's a lot of things you can find online. There's a Reddit subgroup, and I'll link that down below. You can post questions, you can vent, you can rant, you can ask for help, you can just talk to people and answer other people's questions, which is great. I found that it's really nice to be able to talk to other people who know what you're going through and to be able to help them if they are experiencing something that you've experienced in the past. Now, through the EDS subreddit, I found an EDS Discord, and if you don't know what Discord is, it's a website, or they also have an app that you can communicate with people, so it's kind of like a chat room. This specific Discord is for EDS. So whether you have EDS, you want to learn more about EDS, you love someone or you're caring for someone with EDS, and it's fantastic. I found my biggest online support group in this chat room. There's a lot of different channels on this specific Discord. So for example, you can ask different questions, you can vent, you can ask medical related questions, you can share your accomplishments with people, you can share your artwork. I found this to be the best community for myself. I check in every day. I've actually become a moderator for it. It's just a little EDS family, and we all understand what we're going through, and it's a great support system. I'm going to leave a link to the EDS subreddit down below. Please feel free to join if you're interested in it at all. I've talked to the creator of it. The more the merrier. We want to create a nice, healthy support system for anybody who needs one. Also, if you're looking for online support, you can find groups on Facebook. You can find Facebook groups that are for just EDS or for people with chronic illnesses, invisible illnesses, and chronic fatigue. There's so many things out there, you just have to dig a little bit. A lot of time you have to get special permission to access the group, but it's very simple. I've joined a couple. They're not as active, but if you're looking for something every once in a while, not every day, something to engage every day, this would be great for you. Again, just look around on Facebook, look for different groups, see if there's anything that stands out to you. Just ask the administrators if you can join, and I'm sure they'd be happy to let you in. The last thing that you can do online, which is halfway online, halfway in person, is the website Meetup. So Meetup is a website that uses your location to find people that are interested in the same things as you, and they're creating groups. I live in a smaller city, and there's not really any EDS or chronic illness groups that are meeting up on Meetup. However, I do live an hour away from a bigger city, so if I wanted to make the drive, I could, and there would be a lot of people who are willing to meet up. So if you're in a smaller area and there isn't a group already on Meetup, you can create your own. Now that does entail a little bit more work because you're going to have to make events, but you can always ask people in the Meetup if they want to help you organize it. Now I know it's hard to do something like that when you don't have a lot of energy, you don't have a lot of spoons, but it is an option out there for you to create something, and it'd be great to focus your energy on something positive in your life. So the last tip I have for you for joining a community is looking at your communities available to you in your area that have already been established. I am currently part of a community health organization, so we have a lot of different branches that do specific things, and one of the things that I really like about my community health center is that they have a lot of meetups and a lot of groups that meet monthly, if not weekly. Now, you can ask your doctor if they have any recommendations on where you can find a group for either chronic illness or EDS, or you can go to your library, see if they have a bulletin board, If not, you can make your own bulletin asking if there is anyone interested or already has a group started. You can go to your local community centers, see if they have anything posted on bulletin boards. Again, if not, maybe talk to someone, see if the organization is interested in having a new group that is aimed for people with chronic illness. So that's all of my community related tips. I do want to stress again how nice it is to have a community. You might have a care system in place, whether it be your parents, your friends, your siblings, your husband or significant other. It's really nice just to have an outlet of people who know what you're going through. Just because somebody takes care of you or helps you every once in a while doesn't mean they know the pain, doesn't mean they know how limiting everything is. And it's really nice to talk to people who understand exactly what you're going through. So one thing that I found that really helps me is having a pill case. Now, it sounds kind of silly, and for a while I didn't want a pill case. I thought it was something that like old people do so they don't forget their medicine or anything like that. But honestly, having this little guy has really helped me, especially at nighttime. I take all of my medicine except for one at night, and I find that after a long day's work, I just want to go to bed and I don't want to think about anything else. All I want is my head on that pillow. And before, it used to take me a couple minutes just to go through all of my pills, make sure I had enough of each one, and then take them and then go to bed. And now I don't have to worry about that other than just once a week. So now I just go to bed, pick up my pill case, opening up, take the medicine, go to sleep. Easy as that. I know that they come in different sizes. Some people might take smaller pills or a lot less pills. Some people take a lot more. Mostly for me, it's my vitamins, but I find this is just barely big enough and it works great. Speaking of vitamins, that's something you should consider taking if you already don't. Anything from just a multivitamin once a day might be good enough for you. I personally take glucosamine, which helps with joints and joint stability. I also take a joint supplement that contains devil's claw, more glucosamine, and turmeric. It's just a lot of things that are really good for the joints. Something that I consider that's really important to do is to get your blood work done. You never know what you're going to be deficient in, and that could be causing a lot more problems than you already have. For me, I'm usually anemic, which means my body is low on iron. So every once in a while I get my blood work done just to see where my levels are at. So I can tell if my iron is really low, I start to feel a lot more sluggish and a lot slower. And it's a good wake-up call to say, hey, I need to start taking my iron again. Another thing you can check your blood work for is B12. That's something that can help affect your energy and help affect your mood. If you're low on that, that's something that should be looked after. Something that I've heard before is that magnesium and potassium can help with muscle spasm and muscle cramps. So that's another thing you can get checked on your blood work, and another vitamin you can find just at your local health food store. Another tip is to have a pain journal. So you can either go out and get a journal or just even a spiral notebook, or you can do it on an app. I think if you actually like writing and documenting, having an actual journal will probably be best for you. Every day you would write your pain levels, how you were feeling mood-wise, what specific areas were giving you the most trouble, if you did anything extra like you worked out, if you even have enough energy for that, if you drank alcohol, anything you want you can write down and just document it over time. Now for me, I haven't been able to keep up with a journal constantly pretty much my entire life. So what I'm finding is a lot easier is having an app that does it for me. I'm currently using an app called Flare Down, and I'm really liking it so far. The way you use it is you put in what illnesses you have. So for me personally, I'm documenting my endometriosis and my EDS, and then it lets you list all of your symptoms, and then you go through every day saying how much each symptom that you do have was active that day. And then what I like the best about it is it compiles all of that data into specific graphs for you. So you can see if there's any correlation between drinking alcohol and how your knees feel, or the weather, or if working a 12-hour day, in my case, makes me more sore the next day which I already know, but it's nice to be able to see exactly how much it does affect me. So another thing that I'd really recommend is investing some money in some ice packs. Now, you don't have to go out to your drugstore and get like the $20 special me-shaped ice pack. You can if you want to. I personally don't have the luxury to go out and spend that much money on an ice pack. I find that at the dollar store they have ice packs that work just fine. They may be a little bit smaller. I just make sure to keep a couple in the freezer at any given time. So I have about 5, though they are a little bit smaller. They're about this size. And then I just rotate them every other night or even a couple times during the day. If I have something that's really bothering me, like my shoulder or my knee, I just go downstairs, grab the ice pack, and have it on me until I feel a little bit better. Helps cut down the inflammation, which will help your joint or your muscles be a little bit healthier. I also find that if you have an area that's a little bit hard to keep iced, if you have a tension bandage, or I call it an ace bandage, have that, just kind of wrap it around yourself. So I've had problems with my shoulders before. I just wrap the tension bandage lightly around me to keep the ice pack on me so I can do other things other than just sit there and hold it. Tension bandages are also really good for knees, shoulders, elbows, anything really that's acting up and you want to limit the mobility of it. That way you don't hyperextend it and you don't overuse it. I personally use my bandage the most on my knees. I probably should just invest some money in a knee brace, but I am not quite at that point in my life where I can just go out and buy a knee brace. So for now, I am just using the tension bandage. If you're not quite sure how to use tension bandages properly, there are plenty of YouTube videos out there. I'd recommend that if you're going to go on YouTube and look for videos and tutorials on how to use a bandage properly, I would look for people who are physical trainers. I just feel a lot more comfortable knowing that it's someone who went to school is giving me the right information. Something that I think a lot of people underestimate is rest. I know personally that for a long time, I just brushed off my EDS symptoms, thinking that I was over exaggerating or being kind of a wimp. And recently I had a flare up and it kicked my butt. And the only thing I feel like that saved me and helped me get out of it was resting. On the note of resting, I would really recommend learning your limitations and learning your body. I found that I tend to push myself a lot. I push myself too hard and I don't really know when to stop. Because of that, I caused myself to have a flare-up. And with that, the only thing that really saved me was taking a long rest. I had to take a couple days off of work and I just didn't allow myself to do anything. I just sat there, watched videos on my computer, and that was it. I truly believe because I rested and I listened to my body, that's the only reason my flare-up came to an end. For you, I would strongly recommend learning your body, knowing the signs of when you've gone too far, and knowing when you need to take a break. You need to know if you need to bring out a mobility aid, if you need to take some time off work, if you need to just say, hey, you know what, I can't go out this weekend, I really need to spend some time by myself. Knowing that will save you in the long run and it'll keep you healthier for longer. So more along the lines of getting to know your body, I would really recommend doing light stretches and light exercises to help equal out your body. I know for me and other friends that I have that have EDS, we have a lot of loose areas and we have a lot of tight areas. Another thing regarding learning your body is learning things that you can do to make yourself feel better. And when I say feel better, I'm not just talking about, oh, my shoulder hurts, I wonder what can make it feel better. I'm saying what helps you feel better, your soul feel better. And doing things throughout the day or even once a week that just makes you feel really good will really help. So examples of this can be reading a book, listening to your favorite music, it could be taking a bubble bath, it could be anything as long as it just makes you smile and makes you feel a little bit better. Sometimes when I have a little bit of extra energy, I do little things like tweeze my eyebrows, paint my fingernails, do something that makes me feel good later on in the week. So when I look at myself, I'm not like, oh man, I look really haggard today. I can look at myself and be like, hey, you know, my nails look really nice, or I don't have a unibrow. So another tip I have is dry shampoo. Now, I think we've all been in a situation where we tell ourselves that we're going to take a shower before bed, then we don't, and we'll tell ourselves that we're going to shower in the morning, and then we wake up late, or you just don't have the energy to shower at all, and this guy is a lifesaver. So for times when I've gone a couple of days without being able to wash my hair, I can use dry shampoo, and it makes your hair look nice and clean, and it's fantastic. Something else is to make sure that you have a lot of healthy snacks available for you. I know that when I'm not feeling well and I have a day off, I just want to veg out and I don't want to go downstairs and cook. I'd rather just kind of snack away all day. If I have chips in front of me, if I have candy in front of me, those are things that I'm going to reach for because they're nice and easy. It's a good idea to have healthier options in your house. That way it's easier to make a better choice for yourself. Something you can also do is meal prep. So if you find that you're having a day where you have a little bit more energy, you feel a little bit more active, go ahead and invest some time into making food that you can have the rest of the week. Now, that can be as complicated as making a soup, making a lasagna, making a casserole, or it could just be easy as cutting up some carrots, putting them in a little baggie, cutting up some cheese, putting them with crackers, just doing something for yourself for in the future when you don't have a lot of energy, you can quickly get something to eat that's a lot better than unhealthy options. You can make sure that you have your house stocked up with pre-made food, so you can either just put it in the microwave, put it in the oven, put it in the toaster oven. If you do that, I do recommend looking for healthier brands. I know that Amy's has a lot of organic, gluten-free, and just overall better options. I do know that a lot of the products that claim to have better quality ingredients do cost more. That's something that you're going to have to work out for yourself if that's an investment you're willing to make. Now, this next tip is from my friend who goes by the name of Link on the Discord, and they use a double-edged razor. Link has a lot of issues with sensitive skin, which I know a lot of people with EDS have. They say that using a double-edged razor is really good because you can customize the whole experience. Apparently, you can change the razor blades if that's irritating your skin. You can change it to a different type of metal. You can use a puck of soap and a shaving brush, and if whether the brush or the soap begins to irritate your skin, you can just change that up. Apparently, it's really nice to have a little bit of more freedom with that. Link says that with a double-edged razor, you do get less ingrown hairs, which is another common problem with people with EDS. They do say that it does take some practice to get used to, but there is a subreddit for people who do use the double-edged razor, and I'll leave a link down below if you are interested in looking at that. Now, on the opposite side of shaving and how to shave without irritating your skin is the option to just not shave. It is 2017. There are a lot of people, both men and women, who are deciding not to shave at all. Personally, I shave my underarms every couple of days just to keep it tidy, and my legs I really only shave if there's an event that someone might be looking at my legs, to be completely honest. For me, I find that it does take extra energy to shave, and sometimes it's just not worth it. I've gone maybe 2 to 3 months without shaving before, and no one's ever said anything to me. If it's something that you're hesitant about doing, you really shouldn't be. It's your body, you can do whatever you want. So something that I've implemented in my daily routine is magnesium spray. I have somebody in my city who makes everything from her own house. I really like having this local supply of magnesium spray. For one reason, I'm helping somebody create their dream come true, and another reason is she's also a fellow spoonie. She suffers from some chronic illnesses and chronic joint pain, so it's nice to be able to have somebody in my life who is living her dream even though she has stuff weighing her down. So this is what I currently use. It's a magnesium spray from Urban Forest Apothecary. and she sells online on Etsy, and she sells all throughout Canada, and I believe she might be able to send stuff to the United States. You just have to privately message her. She's been fantastic and I love her products. This product I specifically use on my feet after I've been standing on them all day long. I find that if I spray it on my feet before I go to bed, the next day when I wake up, I can stand a lot easier and walk a lot easier with a lot less pain. You can find Magnesium Spray online. I do prefer to support someone who is local to me, and you can do the same thing, I'm sure, in your city or surrounding cities. There are probably places that would sell magnesium spray and other pain relievers that are handmade and could be custom made for you, and that's something worth looking into. Something that I do when I've had a long day and I have a lot of joints and muscles that are very achy, before I go to sleep, I surround my torso with long pillows. What the pillows do is it prevents me from rolling around in my sleep. I do tend to toss and turn a lot, and if I have the pillows next to me, I find that I stay a lot more still and I let my muscles and my joints relax a little bit more. I also find that I don't contort myself into weird positions in the middle of the night, so I don't exacerbate the current problems that I have. I have a couple of clothing tips. One thing that I have learned, that even though skinny jeans look great, they do not help your circulation and your knees at all. I find that when I wear skinny jeans, especially all day long, that it tends to hurt my knees because when I try to bend them, the fabric's too tight and it doesn't have enough give to it, that it doesn't let them have the full mobility that they need. I also find that it cuts off some circulation to my lower legs and to my feet, something that it's just not worth it anymore to me. There are a lot of socks that I think are really cute. They come up all the way up your legs, and I find that they're just way too tight. They cut off the circulation and they leave indents in my legs. Now, something that I would recommend is wearing leggings. There's a lot of people, especially on the EDS Discord, that are huge fans of them, and they just make life a lot easier. They're a lot more comfortable than jeans, and they're a lot more flexible. Now, a tip that I've seen a lot of people talk about, but I haven't actually been able to try myself, are oval 8s or silver splints. Now, if you don't know what these are, you can look them up. They're really neat. They are splints that you wear on your fingers. The oval 8s are a flesh-colored plastic, and they look a little bit more medical. The silver splints do the same thing basically, they just look a little bit nicer. They are made out of silver and they do almost look like jewelry, which is really cool. They do have a higher price range, so it might not be feasible for everyone. What the oval 8s and the silver splints do is kind of keep your fingers in place. It prevents them from hyperextending and subluxating. I'm really interested in getting some for myself. I just have to figure out the sizing better. I know that they recommend on their website to be sized by a professional, but there are ways around it if you don't have somebody that you can go and see. This is something that I'm really interested in getting for myself since I do work with my hands at my job. Alright, so I'm just going to end this video with a couple of do's and don'ts. So number 1, do learn your body. Like I was saying earlier, it's really important to learn where your limitations are, where you need to stop, and what you can do to help yourself improve and feel better. Do research EDS. The best tool that you have to your disposal is the internet. I have experienced firsthand that there are a lot of doctors who don't know what EDS is. The best thing you can do for yourself is go out and get as much information as you possibly can. I'm not saying to not listen to your doctor. They obviously do know a lot, but just because they don't know something about EDS doesn't mean that you shouldn't know something about EDS. The more informed you are and the more that you know, the better you'll be able to keep yourself healthy in the future. Now, don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. This is something that I've really had a hard time dealing with, especially because I feel like I need to be strong, I need to be able to take care of myself, and sometimes that's just not true. Just because I need help sometimes doesn't mean that I'm a weak person, and doesn't mean that you're a weak person either. Everybody needs help sometimes. Not always a physical help, but everybody needs help and everybody needs support. if it's your friends, if it's your parents, if it's someone online that you found in a support group and you just want them to listen to you rant for half an hour, just know that it's okay to ask for something. Do seek accommodations at work if you need them. I personally work with my hands every day, all day, and sometimes I just need help. I've talked to my boss, and on really bad days, I have people that I can ask to help me with certain tasks that I'm just not able to do. And the last tip that I have for you is do talk to your doctor if you think you have EDS. Now, I know that not every doctor knows about EDS, and a lot of them don't know that much about EDS, but it is a good place to start. A lot of people look out for help online and look for diagnosis online, and really the only way you can get your diagnosis and you can get medical help is talking to your doctor about it. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that some of these tips will help you and help your life be a little bit easier. If you have any tips that I didn't mention, please put them down below in the comments. I'd love to learn some more, and I'm sure everyone else would too.